Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Chapter 9.1 through 9.5 review. Let's make sure to read the directions on the top where it tells us to show all your work. So, taking a look into the first part, it says to classify each polynomial by degree and number of terms. Okay, we've got a word bank below where the degrees and the number of terms are going on. So, let's take a look at problem number 1. Problem number 1 says we got 2x cubed plus x squared minus 4x plus 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the degree. And the degree is to the third power, which means that it's cubic. Okay, now that we know the degree, let's look at the number of terms. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if we've got 4 terms, that means it's a polynomial. So the name of this is a cubic polynomial. Okay, let's look at the next one where it says x minus 7. Okay, now even if we don't know it, that x has a little 1 attached to it. So that little 1 means that it's linear. Okay, and now count the terms 1, 2. 1, 2 means that it's a binomial because bi means 2. All right, why don't you guys pause the video and try the next two on your own. Okay, and there's 3 and 4. Okay, it's a quadratic, and there's 3, so it's a quadratic trinomial. And then there's only one term, which means it's constant because there's no variable attached to it. And since there's only one term, it's a monomial. All right. Simplify each expression, write your answers in standard form, and circle or put them in a box. Now, it's important to look to see what we're doing. This says to plus, okay? So if we're adding, we have to pretend to distribute a positive 1. And when we do that, everything inside stays the exact same. So now we need to try to find our like terms. Okay, once we find those, now we just combine them. Okay, 3x and 9x would give us 12x squared. Negative 4x and positive 8x would give me positive 4x. And 8 and negative 8, those guys actually cancel out. So we're left with 12x squared plus 4x. Okay, looking at the next one, inside, in between them, we have a negative symbol. So we need to distribute a negative 1, okay? Now, the first term stays the same. And now when we distribute the negative x, all of the symbols are changing. Okay, and now, same as before, we're going to try and find our like terms. X squared, there's the x squared. Let's see, we have an x cubed, 2x all by itself, and then a positive 4 and a negative 2. So those are all the things that are the same. And now we're just going to write them in standard form. So 2x to the 5th minus x to the 5th would give us x to the 5th. So we use those. Next would come my positive 3x cubed. Let's see, x squared and negative 8x would give me negative 7x squared. Then we have our minus 2x. And then positive 4 and negative 2 gives me positive 2. Okay, key thing is just to make sure to combine your like terms. Don't get scared, don't get lost with all of the exponents, okay? All right, let's move on. Number 7. Okay, number 7 we have to FOIL. So my first would be 3 times 4 is 12. X to the 5th. My insides, or my outsides, I'm sorry. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. X cubed. My inside would be positive 8x cubed. And then the last would give us negative 10x. Okay. Combine our like terms, which we have right here in the middle. And then our final answer would be 12x to the 5th minus 7x cubed minus 10x. Okay, now for number 8, I'm going to do the box method for this. I have a trinomial times a binomial. We got x squared minus 4x plus 2 and negative 2x plus 1. So let's multiply everything inside the box. So we get negative 2x to the 3rd. A negative times a negative is a positive, so positive 8x squared. Negative 4x, x squared, negative 4x, and positive 2. Go ahead and combine your like terms. And our final answer would be negative 2x cubed plus 9x squared minus 8x plus 2. Okay, now our x's do not cancel because they're the same term. They're both negatives, okay? All right, number 9. Why don't you guys go ahead and try to do that yourself? You can either do FOIL or box. I will do the FOIL method, okay? So good luck. Okay, you should have gotten 4x squared minus 9. Your middle terms end up canceling out. All right, with number 10, we have to remember that that exponent means that there's 2 of the bases, which means you're doing negative 4x plus 1 times negative 4x plus 1. So once again, you guys go ahead and try to do this one yourself. I am going to do the box method on this one, okay? Good luck. Okay, after you combine your like terms, you should get 16x squared minus 8x plus 1. Okay. Factor by using the GCF or splitting the term down the middle. Now, anytime we split the term, that's when we have a quadratic trinomial, okay? So like for problems number 11, where you would want to know a equals 1, b equals negative 8, c equals 12, we would do the multiples of 12, and I would want to know what numbers add up to give me negative 8, but multiply to give up, that's a positive 12. Okay, so positive 12. So thinking about it, what numbers go inside of here? Well, the only way that I know that I can actually get to a negative 8 would be the numbers 2 and 6. And to add up to get a negative, either one has to be negative or they both have to be negative. And since the 12 is positive when you multiply, they both have to be negative. So when we split this term, it's negative 2x, negative 6x, and positive 12. Okay? Draw the line down the middle. I'm going to take out an x from the first term, and that leaves me with x minus 2. And back here, I'm going to take out a negative 6, which gives us negative 6, and then x minus 2. My checkpoint's good because those are the same. And you get x minus 2, and then x minus 6. and make sure to circle your answer. All right, now with 12 is when we look at all of the numbers, 12, 18, and 24. So we just did 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. It's 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6, 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. And when we do that, we see that the GCF is 6. So that's the highest number. But now I want to look at all of the exponents, okay? So look at your m's, look at your n's. And the way I get mn is all of them have m's, so I want the lowest exponent. And that's the 1. All of them have n's, but you need the lowest exponent. Okay? And now you just divide it out. So my GCF comes out front. 12 divided by 6 is 2. The n's cancel, and you're just left with 1m. Negative 18 divided by 6 is negative 3. M squared n. And then negative 24 divided by 6 is negative 4. And the m and the n both cancel out. Okay? Now, for number 13, you're doing this method. 14, you're doing that method. You guys are all on your own for those 2 problems, so pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and there are my final answers. For number 13, it's x plus 11 and x minus 2. And then 14, my GCF was a negative 6xy. And then you get negative 6xy times 4x plus 3y to the 4th. Okay, well that's going to be it for Algebra 1, Chapter 9.1 through 9.5 review. And as always, if you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, thanks for watching.